Well, hello, all of you yokers out there, far and wide, near and far, wherever you may be. We are here, and we welcome you. How are you, PastorBoz?
I'm good, and I am near.
Excellent.
I'm doing
Excellent.
good, though. Doing good.
I have come from far, and now I am near.
Amen.
Do you know that reference?
I came from Connecticut.
Yeah.
No.
It's
I
the Sahara person in Animal Crossing that sells you rugs. They're like, I have
yes.
come from my home, which is far, to sell you rugs at your home, which is near. Or
I
something like
I
that.
haven't played that game since I think I turned it on for about 5 minutes. Not even. Maybe 1 minute. Just to make sure all my villagers didn't leave me, and they didn't.
Oh,
I think last month. The last time I actually played the game was probably May.
wow. That's really sad.
It's been a while.
I haven't
It's
been
been a
playing it
while.
nearly as much, but I play a little bit here and there.
Turnips, not even a thing in my life
I
anymore.
got like
I
4
used to be
million
like,
in the bank.
it's Sunday, give me nothing. I don't even have a 3-star island. I have a 2-star.
Wow, what a pleb.
Listen, I got bored. Not gonna lie,
That's
I got
fair.
bored
That's fair.
getting stung by scorpions every other day, and
I
just
think you quit before it changed to scorpions.
no. I was playing with scorpions. I caught a couple tarantulas. Never caught a scorpion, however. When it changed,
I don't
yeah.
know if I've caught a scorpion, to be honest.
I
I've only
stopped
seen a
playing.
few.
I stopped playing before you were able to swim, like a month before
Yeah.
that came out. So I did stop way before that, which was June. So it's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute.
A hot minute.
Oh goodness. Well, let's go ahead and look over some of the other topics we've got today. Razer made a gaming chair. Took them long enough, I feel like.
Yeah, they're making everything in the book, but they have a chair, guys.
They have a chair. They made a credit card. Now they got a chair. Let's go. Starfield is
Credit card
apparently going to
came first.
have. You wouldn't
Just
have
throwing that out
expected
there.
that.
You hacked. Wait,
That's
that
a
was
good point.
but that's legit though. You can now use your
You
you can use your light up credit card to buy your new Razer chair and get extra points for the Razer store.
My goodness. Anyway,
Legit.
Starfield, the upcoming game from Bethesda, is going to have an overhauled animation system to go along with the overhauled engine. Coming to all new Bethesda games, hopefully. So, and then we've got a Minecraft update that lets you be socially distant. That's actually not the title of the article. That's just the title that I put in here because I thought it would be funny. But it's actually about finally letting you like mute people in Minecraft if you want. So,
interesting.
What else we got today, PastorBoz?
Well, we got people trolling people, but not in the ways that you would see. We see some people from Treyarch trolling some hackers in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Well, not hackers,
data miners. Get it right.
Okay.
Look, there's a difference, okay?
Okay. Anyways, they're trolling. They're trolling them. They're rickrolling them all over the place. And then we have dataminers once again in Apex Legends. They actually found it looks like they've uncovered an arenas mode. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then, guys, we have our Steve Thoughts Part 2.
Let's go.
Because we had thoughts last week, but now Steve is actually out. So we'll have our thoughts on Steve. And then also, I played Among Us for the first time yesterday, guys.
You did.
And so we're going to talk about my first experience. And then finally, we do have a life topic for you guys today. We're going to be talking about leaders versus followers and why we need both. So we're going to be talking about all of those things.
It's going to be great. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. We'll see what's going on. Let's roll that intro. All right, so Razer's gaming chair. It is called the Isker, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. The spelling is kind of weird.
Let me pull it up again. Yes, the Isker, spelled ISKUR, for $500.
Is that a word? I'm looking it up.
It probably means something. Razer usually uses words that do exist. They're just weird. Like,
Okay, a very strange text came up.
huh?
It's not
Do I need to do
English.
this too?
Translate this page.
Oh,
Thank you, Google. It's Turkish.
Turkish for what?
I don't know, but apparently it's a place to find jobs in Turkey.
Turkish to English. Isker.
I don't know. I'm getting off of that.
I don't know if it's Turkish because I
I
just
don't.
typed
It
it
said
into Google
Turkey
Translate.
for me. Anyways,
Anyway,
the state of concern about the future of one's economic prospects. That's
what?
the translation that Vic Sigma got. So if that's the case, if that's the case, this is not the best. Okay, this wasn't even part of our topics, but I'm gonna throw this out there. Okay. This is not the best name you want to give to your gaming chair. If it's the state of concern about the future of one's economic prospects and you're selling a $500 gaming chair, you probably don't want.
Oh my goodness.
Drop the mic.
That's hilarious. If that's true. Oh my goodness. That's so funny. But yeah.
Anyways,
So cost $500. They tout that they have this fully customizable lumbar support that nobody else has.
my lumbar support is fully customizable.
Is
I will
it,
show
though?
you.
You have a pillow.
It is a pillow, but nobody put it on like the way I do. So here's my
Wait,
lumbar
what?
support. Okay, you have it here. Everybody's just always like, "Oh, you can't move it." Mine, you can move up or down.
Yeah, you can do that with all of them.
Fully customizable.
But it can't go in and out. It can only go up and down. So you can't
Why
change
would you
the
have a
depth of
lumbar
it.
support go in? That would defeat the purpose of a
to
lumbar
adjust
support.
for different people and their different sizes and things.
I don't know. If you guys look at a picture of it, the lumbar support is humongous. And Sarah
it looks
made
like
a good
turtle
point.
shell.
It looks like a turtle shell. Like it does. It goes all the way up to, it looks like your shoulder blades. And to be honest, if you look at a picture, I don't know about you guys, it would look like my back would be like this. And I just...
Only if you want it like that, though. You don't have to have it like
fully that. How do you fully cuss? I don't know. Does it light up?
Can it go up and down, though? That's the question. It doesn't look like it can go
You
up
wouldn't
and
want
down.
that to go up.
It looks like it's
if that went up at all, you would die. So you would say it looks like it's attached, but then they give the Isker lumbar versus others picture. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's horrible. I feel like it's really far out already as it is. And now, okay, so the fully customizable part, if you guys don't understand this, you can move it out like this. I'm trying to get more on screen. So it can go in or out.
Yeah, like flips up.
I don't know about this, dude. That feels like it would be super uncomfortable. I don't know. I would have to try one out and see what, because that looks really uncomfortable, to be honest, in my opinion.
3-year warranty. Not bad.
That's not too bad.
I think other chairs have longer, but
I've had this chair for 4 years now, and it's fine. Like no issues at all. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Like I said, like it took them this long to make a gaming chair. Like they made a credit card before they made a chair.
That, and I think that was smart, because now you can buy the chair with you were like, I already have a mouse and a keyboard. What else can I buy? You can buy a gaming chair. Like that was, it's where it's at, dude.
That's actually hilarious. But yeah, so I don't think there's much else other than that to say. I mean, I've always said I appreciate Razer's willingness to try new things. Even if it's just a chair that isn't really that crazy. But they're always trying really new and interesting things. For instance, a while ago, they came out with a mouse called the Naga Trinity, which basically combined like 3 of their mice into one, where you could actually take off the side of the mouse and then put on like a different button set. Really, really cool idea that had never really been done before, at least not from like a major company. So things like that, they do really, really cool things.
They did. Came out with a headset last year. I think it was. Don't they have a PC case either in
Well,
the
they have
making?
multiple headsets, so I don't know where you're going with that, but
Do they have multiple now? Because I remember when they
they've
first
had
started coming out.
multiple headsets for a
Did
long
they?
time. Yeah.
I thought because I could have swore that one of their first ones came out pretty recently, like a
No,
year or two
no,
ago.
they've had headsets
But
forever.
interesting. Okay, I wouldn't. I
They
don't
only
know.
just recently started getting decent, I think. But
Maybe that was what it was. But regardless, yeah, they're always coming out with new stuff. So yeah,
yeah, but that's about that. So
I have a chair.
Starfield featuring an overhauled Bethesda animation system. So this news comes from apparently um, a LinkedIn user who spotted Bethesda animator Eric Braun, who briefly wrote about the game on his page via Reset Era under his experience section. And in that section, Braun is listed as a senior programmer for Bethesda, where he rewrote entire animation system for Starfield from scratch as
That's
part of
interesting.
his experience.
And you know what? I'll put this out there. I that makes me a little bit more excited about these new games because I'll be completely honest. It hasn't changed for a long time, and I'm not expecting a super large change, but I'll be completely honest. Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 4, like they all had a very similar looking. Obviously, it got better graphically over time, and the last game was 2011, so at the time it was decent graphics, but it wasn't phenomenal even then. But you're starting to see now that they're overhauling it, and for I I don't know if I don't know if I'm excited about Starfield or not. I
Yeah,
can't.
we don't really
They
know much
haven't
about
revealed.
it.
No, they announced it like 2 years, maybe even 3 years ago, and we know nothing about this game, like, except that it's in space. That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. So I'm excited to see what they're actually going to do. And it does say that this engine is not only going to be for Starfield, but it's going to be for Elder Scrolls 6 as well. And I'm sure it will be for future Fallout games and other games that they have. But yeah, it's exciting for Bethesda. I think it's a good deal.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll pan out well. Like you were saying, it's been the same for a long time. And it's really starting to show its age. The animations are rather stiff and one-dimensional. If you go back and look at them, they just really do not compare to other modern games. Even like lower budget games have like great animation nowadays, and
Yeah.
the old Bethesda games are just they're not looking too great. To be honest,
The older ones are.
yeah.
Those things are rough, dude.
But to be honest, I'm more excited about the overhauled engine compared to the animation system. I think that'll do a lot as well, and hopefully the both hand in hand will show a lot of improvements from previous games. But yeah, like you were saying, like I don't even know. I'm not excited for Starfield because we don't know anything about it. And to be honest, I'm not even excited for Elder Scrolls because Bethesda been sus lately.
That's true.
They've been sus.
They've been sus. They've been sus lately. But I will say I'm excited about Elder Scrolls 6 regardless, even if they are sus, because I loved Oblivion. Morrowind, listen, one day I'll finish it, but the whole RNG, if you're gonna hit the rat or not with your sword and a rat kills you when you have a sword in your hand, that kind of triggered me. But Oblivion was a very good game, well done. I thought Skyrim was really well done as well. I love the leveling system in both of those games. And so I'm excited to see what they have in store for this. I like the lore of the Elder Scrolls as
Yeah,
well.
of
I always
course.
have. The lore
I
is
love
really
the
cool.
lore. I love the world.
Yeah. The world is
Mhm.
great. I love the land and layout of everything. I think it's just super interesting. Beautiful games too. I mean, Skyrim, let's be honest, you could play it on a black and white TV, right? But go back to like Oblivion. that was super colorful, and even the towns, they had so much life in
Yeah.
them and so many people, and I miss that from Skyrim, to be honest, because they didn't have that, but, um,
It just didn't feel
I
the same.
I'm excited. I'm excited nonetheless about that, so and maybe this is the reason why it's been taking so long for them to
I
come
hope
out
so.
with another game, is this whole new system and new engine that they've been working on, and I'm hoping to see Starfield within a year. I don't think it's gonna happen, to
But
be
we still
to
haven't
be
seen anything from it.
I know, but
Like, this
Bethesda
isn't
is
Nintendo we're
known
talking about.
Bethesda is known well, I shouldn't say Bethesda, Todd Howard is known for coming out with just a plethora of things and then dropping a release date for 4 months later. Like, that's what he's known
What
for,
did he do
and he
that
even
for?
said he did it for Elder Scrolls, 5 for he did it for Skyrim,
Did
he
he?
did it for
It's been
Fallout.
so long, literally 9
Fallout
years.
76 was Fallout 76 was not 4 months, but that was like 7 or 8, but that turned out to be trash anyways. Fallout 4, I don't remember what they did for Fallout 4 because I didn't follow that one too much. But yeah, so I'm excited. But he even said in an article recently, he was like, "Yeah, I usually just like to throw everything out there and then give you guys a release date." I was like, "Yeah, that sounds about right. You did that with me once, so
Yeah,
I'll
hopefully
take it."
that's the case.
So
But
I'd be excited for it.
I'm not holding my breath. We'll see. What we got next?
We got Minecraft updates that's letting you be socially distanced in the words of Unworthy Seraph. So, what do you mean by this, and what is going on in Minecraft that's a new update? What can they possibly do?
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot to talk about here, but I thought it was interesting enough to mention. Basically, they're letting you mute players for your chat. So, for instance, in plenty of online games, you can find yourself in chat rooms or voice rooms with other people, and you can mute them and block them or whatever. And Minecraft has never really had that function. So I guess it does on consoles because you can block people on consoles. But as
Okay.
far as PC, they've never really had that function. So it becomes a problem for like public servers, like public like minigame servers or any public server, where you could potentially run into somebody who's like really toxic or harassing you or anything like that.
That's
Um,
legit.
and you wouldn't have any way to like block them. So like uh, unless you like left the server or whatever. So you
Okay.
can find there's finally this new social interactions screen um, on the home screen of Minecraft that lets you manage the players that you have muted and things like that. So very simple feature, probably a long time overdue. Long time
Right.
overdue.
So I have two thoughts. I'm going to answer a question from chat real quick, just because we don't always mention this. Somebody asked, do these guys interact with the chat? We do at times, but we do want everybody to know that this is also a podcast as well. And so, as it's a podcast for people on other platforms, so we do interact with chat from time to time, but we don't over interact with the
Yeah,
chat. If
we
that
don't
makes
want to
sense.
make the people listening after the fact feel like they're missing out on a huge part of the experience. So we may
Yeah.
comment on something you guys say in the chat if we think it really adds to the discussion or one of you makes a really good point. But other than that, we don't address the chat very closely. We are always reading it though, so keep that in mind.
Yes. So my two thoughts about Minecraft, however, is there are kids out there, a lot of children that play this game. So I think this
Yeah,
is a good idea, and we're starting to see major companies. Sony is doing something as well, where they're trying to essentially get rid of the toxic behavior to the best of their ability. Now, whether you agree with your voice chats being recorded or not with the new PlayStation 5 in the parties, that's a whole nother discussion for another time. But there are a lot of people that are happy with these types of things because it's going to reduce the toxicity of
hopefully.
all the different hopefully
I
it
mean,
might add to it, but we'll see. We'll see how it gets moderated because there's going to be a lot of chats. So
it's more like a band-aid on the problem, unfortunately. Uh, but
it is, but it's an interesting band-aid, you know.
it it is. I mean, we can't expect these big gaming companies to know how to like instill good morals in their players. So
Right. Good. Let me put it this way. All right. Yes, the gaming community is very toxic. I will say that. but there's got to be a point where you can't blame games anymore. You might have to start blaming the parents.
Or just the people.
Well, yes, people
Like,
in general as well. Yes, people can be blamed, but like I don't know. For me, growing up, like, okay, so I grew up in a single player generation, right? Your
Mhm.
multiplayer was sitting with your brother on your couch, like that's what it came down to. Toxicity was you guys trash talking each other because you were beating him in Mario Kart. But nowadays, because it's all online and people are being born into this internet world, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I unfortunately, and this is not every parent out there, this is not a stereotype either, but there are some parents out there that allow their kids to play whatever they want, whenever they want, going on the internet and talking with whoever they want to. And this is, it's kind of like the wrong, I know we're going way off topic here, but it's
It's
kind of like
fine.
the
It's good
wrong
discussion.
way. It's kind of like the wrong way to babysit your kid, right? They put them in front of a television, say, do whatever you want. And then, then they can go and make dinner. Not saying they're a bad parent, but there's better ways to go about it. And yeah, I just think, I think that's the reason why it's getting so toxic, to be completely honest. But
So you
I
think
could be
it's
wrong.
so you think the kids are becoming toxic?
I think kids are starting off in a toxic world,
Mm-hmm.
and then because they're not being they're not being guarded on who they're talking to or what they're playing. Like, let's be honest. I know kids out there that, I used to work in a group home. They were 10 years old playing Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, that is not a game you should be playing at that age. When I was in 8th grade, so this is going way back in time, right? All right, so 20 something years ago, 20 years ago about. I was in 8th grade, and some kid brought in Grand Theft Auto 3 into our school, and the substitute teacher let us play it on the TV in the classroom.
Yikes!
I walked out of that room. I was
Yikes!
like, I was like, not for me. But that's the thing, though. Like that's where the problem lies. Like you're just, wherever you are, just not being, and the kid was in 8th grade and he owned this game. So nothing against his parents, not saying they were bad parents, but there are things that I think we should be more what's the word, observant of, I think, in our society today. So
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of implications for kids with a lot of that. I mean,
yeah.
ultimately, I think the toxicity problem is obviously it makes it really bad for the kids, but the kids aren't the origin of it. They're like you said, they're
True.
just kind of coming into a toxic world. Because there's tons of just grown people that are just
You're not wrong.
super toxic. It's like, unfortunately,
You're right.
um, and like having
Yeah.
tools to kind of quell that is good, and I think it's needed, especially to like protect people from like being harassed and stuff. But ultimately it doesn't fix the root of the issue.
That's true. That's true. And there's a lot of people in the chat saying, adults are feeding it. Um, and it's yeah, it's sad when you get like a
it's
35-year-old guy that's just calling a 10-year-old names because he shot him in the head.
it's real sad. It's real sad. And then that 10-year-old thinks
Anyway,
that's okay. Like
so in Minecraft, this is being band-aided a little bit so that you don't have to deal with somebody that poured lava on you to trash talking.
thanks, Minecraft.
Thank you, Minecraft.
All
You
right.
bring in so many great things. Treyarch, guys, is
This is
trolling
pretty
people.
great. Have you looked at this?
I looked at the article. Treyarch is starting to troll some people, which honestly, I like it. But why don't you tell us what they're doing and why it's kind of hilarious, to
Yeah.
be honest?
So, uh so if you guys aren't familiar with data mining, it's basically the idea that players will open up a game's code and they will look for things in the code, whether it be like the drop rate of an item or maybe they're just be looking for anything. Usually people do it when they're looking for hidden things. So it's basically a player looking at the code of the game so that you can see everything that the game is programmed to do. Um, Happens for a lot of games. And so Black Ops Cold War beta has just recently released, and people have started data mining it. and the data miners go in and they find this string of code that says there's a few of them. One of them says God mode. One of them says loot boxes. One of them says microtransactions. And then there's like links after them. And then when you click the links, you get rickrolled. so
Treyarch put this in their code
yes,
to rickroll people.
so they put this in their code to troll data miners, which is hilarious. It's hilarious. So the data miners go in, they find this, loot boxes, God mode. What are these things? This is treacherous. And then they click the links and they get rickrolled. It's hilarious.
And let's be honest here. Rickrolls have been around since I don't even know when that started, dude. I remembered my first time getting rickrolled. That had to have been at least 15 years ago. Like, it was a long time ago. You get it on, the early Facebook, the early YouTube times, and you get rickrolled all the time. Whoever did that, though.
the article ends by saying, I'm actually not too sure where the idea to link to a Rick Astley music video originated from, but I salute whoever first came up with it.
For real, dude. Like, it's been going on for years now, right? And I made the guy super popular, right?
So funny. Yeah, that's about it. Just a funny story. But in other data mining news, people have been data mining Apex Legends, and they think they've uncovered hints at an upcoming arena mode, which would be really interesting. Buzz, what are your thoughts for something like that?
Here's my thing. All right. Apex Legends, I played it twice, maybe 3 times. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the game. I just don't enjoy battle royales. Okay. I enjoy Warzone, I will say that. But battle royales, to an extent, I'm not the biggest fan of. So what is this arena mode? Like, what is that going to look like as an arena mode in a battle royale game? I guess is where my question would come in. I'm not too sure what they're doing with that. What do you think, Seraph?
Yeah, what people expect it to be is more of just like a 6v6 or something like that, small scale, like sort of team deathmatch or whatever, like just normal multiplayer mode. I think that would be really cool because obviously Apex Legends comes from the Titanfall devs, so they're definitely not shy to more traditional multiplayer game modes. And Apex feels a lot like Titanfall, so I think it would work really well for the game. And I think the article mentions it being like a great way for people to practice before going into the BR. That would be great for me, to be honest, because I could never really get the hang of like aiming in Apex. It just felt weird.
Yeah.
And, like, the game, like, it's not like super fast because like you go and play like other battle royales, like Warzone. Like Warzone's pretty fast paced, little slower than Apex, but like it just felt weird. I don't know. There was something about it just made it super hard to aim in Apex. So I would love a scenario where I can like kind of practice that a little bit more and get more used to the guns. I could just never really get the hang of Apex. Like, I liked the game. I thought it was really well designed. It brought a ton of things. Yeah. It brought the pinging system, which is now standard in battle royales. Like, it brought a lot of really great stuff to the table. I just couldn't get the hang of it. I was really bad at
it. I wasn't good at this game. I think I got 1, maybe 2 kills, and then I was done. Like, I just, like I said, battle royales are just not my thing. But do you think that this will open up Apex to having a larger player base? That's my question. Because my question with every game and everything that they do is this going to actually further the game at all? Because honestly, Apex, it's not dead, right? It still has a very big fan base. But is it going to move that fan base? Is it just going to make the fans like it more, or is this going to move the game forward so that more people are playing it, do you think?
I think it's really coming in really late. To be honest, I think if they had released this within like a year after the original release, they probably could have retained a lot more players, I think.
Right.
But I think if people left Apex in that first year, they're probably not going to go back to it for this.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Because like me, just looking at it as somebody who did kind of stop playing within the first year, this doesn't really make me want to go back to it. But that's mostly because there's just so many other options for me. So like I don't see a reason to go back and play a game that I just didn't really click with me. So I don't know. There's probably plenty of other people out there with different feelings about it. I definitely think it's a good thing, but I do wonder if it's too late.
Right. Yeah. But regardless, arena mode is coming out. It's still a free game. So that's kind of cool. So if you think you would enjoy something like that, go ahead, download the game. I got nothing against you. I just personally did. It was okay. It was a battle royale. So that was my thoughts. But we're gonna move on, guys. We have some Steve thoughts for you guys because Steve came out last week. We talked about it last week, but this was right before he came out. Steve came out last week at 9:00 on Tuesday, and I played him at 9:00 on Tuesday. And I have my thoughts on Steve. Is he OP? Is he not OP? Is it? Listen, he's fun. Okay, I will give you this. He is a lot of fun. I'm still a little bit upset that it's Steve. Okay, I have my thoughts on that. You guys heard that all last week, but he is fun. My only thing about him is he can trigger me beyond belief when I'm going against a Steve. His minecart,
best move.
Nintendo,
so good.
Nerf the mine.
So good.
Nerf it. It's
but
a
it is resource
grab.
dependent.
It is resource dependent, but you can get iron easily in the game. I had 9,000 pieces of iron, and I just side B people all the time. It's a command grab, or if you stay in the minecart, you can knock them back.
Actually,
but the knockback is super strong.
I don't think it's technically a command grab, actually, because
it's not.
Because I believe you can grab somebody straight out of the minecart, but you can also grab them like instantly once they get out of the minecart. Yes. Whereas with a normal grab and by extension a command grab, like there's a delay before you can grab somebody again, which is not the case here. So it's actually even stronger.
Yes. And I can't tell you how many times trying to get out of the minecart, and normally people jump when they're mashing their buttons to try and get out of something, and everybody just up-Bs you, which is magma.
No, the up smash.
And yeah, the up smash. Oh yeah, sorry, up smash, which is magma, and you get destroyed. Like it's
a really good up smash.
It pulls you into it too. It's not even like you don't even have to get hit by it. If you are in the general area, it will pull you into the magma, and it's got a large hitbox too. So,
but let's not get too technical. If people don't play Smash, they're gonna be bored out of their mind right now. But I think there's some general things that we can address about it. Like you said, he's a lot of fun. They really did a great job of making the character feel at home in the game and really taking things from Minecraft to implement in the game. So there's crafting and there's resource collecting and there's building. They just did it all, and it works really well together. And as far as him being like OP or not, the consensus from people seems to be, and I've kind of seen this as well in my playing of him, consensus seems to be that he's either really strong or really weak depending on the matchup. So what that means is it really just depends on like what character you're going against. He's going to perform really well against some characters and then really not so great against other characters, particularly the ones that can rush him down and can get in and keep pressure on him to where he can't mine, he can't craft, all that stuff, and he kind of falls apart.
Say I had a tough time against Min.
That makes sense.
I had a really tough time. I couldn't go up. I couldn't go down. And Steve's jump is super low anyways. So it was a struggle bus against Min. But yeah. So Little Mac has no chance against anybody, Pablo. Oof. Just saying. Oof.
But yeah, there's also an instant shield break set up.
Yes.
For Steve. So I feel like that's probably going to get patched. I haven't really seen it used too much in actual gameplay yet,
Yeah.
but in theory, it should be fairly easy. Not
with
fairly
the
easy,
right
but it should be doable to pull off in an actual game. There's a couple
with the
setups for
right
it.
person, with the right person that knows exactly what they're doing, it's it's pretty bad.
Yeah, so not only is it an instant shield break, but you can then kill anybody at any percent after you break their shield.
Yes,
Because
and
there's
you
another
can.
setup.
Yes, it's actually dumb, but regardless, Steve is a lot of fun. I think he's a good addition to the game. I'm excited to see what they have next in line. Obviously, we don't know when that's going to be coming, but Steve is interesting, and I enjoy him.
He's
I
fun.
do.
He's fun.
He is fun. He is fun. But let's move
What
on
else
from
is
that,
fun?
guys. I played Among Us last night for the first
Finally did
time.
it.
I finally did it, guys.
And he killed me. But
I had a good.
so it's okay.
He killed me twice. I had a good time. I had a good time. I had more victories than losses, which I guess is probably the case for most people. But yeah, I was only sus once. I was only an imposter once, and I won. And I killed my own teammate. I had to. I'm sorry, Matty Ice, if you're watching this or listening anywhere out there. I am sorry. I had to
walk
let
into
you
the
go, my dude.
room. Let me set this up for you guys. I walk into the room. I see Maddie and Boz standing over a dead body. So I report the body, and Boz is like, "Oh, sorry, I'm talking to my wife. Hold on." So I'm like, "Okay."
I did say I saw. Is this the same one? Because I thought that happened twice. But go on.
No, this is the same game where you were imposter, but. So he's like, I'm talking to my wife, hold on, and he mutes his mic. So I'm like, okay, well, we can't really talk to him. Probably wasn't him, because it seemed like he had already been talking to her. And then so I'm like, all right, Maddie, and Maddie's like, no. It's like clearly very suspicious. Like caught red-handed almost. And so we vote Maddie off, and it was Maddie. But then we spend the rest of the game trying to figure out who the other person is. And eventually he kills me. I didn't really have any suspicions of him. He actually just had
Ace did.
He did
At one point,
but it wasn't enough.
Now here is the great thing. There's a great setup. So if you guys know Hawkopedia from our community, he was imposter like 4 times last night before this game. He was imposter every time, and we kept killing him off. And so it got to the point where it was just 4 of us left, or 5 of us, and me and Seraph, we were walking together, and we were behind 2 people. And right when they were just out of line of sight, I killed Seraph, turned around, and went over to Hawk. And I told them that Hawk was doing a task, and I said that the green bar didn't go up, and
So trash.
I won.
So trash.
So
First night playing.
I felt like for my first
imposter. It was good.
Yeah, I felt like I played my well on the crewmates and also as an imposter, but I need to figure out more. I need to do better as an imposter. I only killed you, and that was it. Like I was looking for.
I was the only person you killed.
I was looking for. Everybody was just huddled together at all times. I just wanted to. If you kill somebody, is there like a certain amount of time that you can't kill another person?
Yeah,
like
it's
if there's 2 people. Oh, that's rough. That's like a struggle bus, right? Because I would like to be able to kill somebody and then like do a double kill, you know? But
you can do that if you're with your imposter buddy. Just do a double kill.
All right. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. Hoping to be able to play more, obviously. So yeah, maybe I'll stream it one of these days. It was a lot of fun. I'll get it out of the way. It was great. It's worth the $6 or $5, whatever it is.
Free on mobile. So did Danny end up playing?
It is free. No, she didn't. I hope she does soon.
Maybe another time.
I think she would enjoy it. I think she would enjoy it once she got the hang of it a little bit. But anyways, guys, we do have a life, not a life update, but a life thing to talk about. We always talk about a life thing. We always talk about that we love the game together, but we also want to do life together, which is why this is called the YokeTalk. If you don't know what a yoke is, watch
the first episode.
Yes, you can do that as well. Anyways, so we're going to be talking about leaders versus followers today and why we need both. Not everybody is supposed to be a leader. Not everybody is supposed to be a follower. One is not better than the other. Let me
Mhm.
just get that out of the way. A leader is not better than a follower, and a follower is not better than a leader. There are two different types of people, two different roles, and you need both. It's okay if you are a follower. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. They're like, well, I need to be a leader in this. I need to be, but if you don't have the skill sets to be a leader, then you probably have great skill sets to be a great follower. That's normally how you're wired and how you're built. So we're going to go through some of our thoughts on that. And I think Seraph has a few thoughts to start this off.
Yeah. So the first thing I kind of want to go over is why it doesn't really work, or why it wouldn't really work if everyone was a leader. So it's almost like the saying too many cooks in the kitchen, you know? If everyone was a leader, everyone would be trying to lead, trying to make decisions, and then nobody would agree on anything. No one would be willing to follow anyone else's idea or decision. It would be a mess. It would be a mess. Nobody would get anything done because there's too many conflicting ideas and opinions. Like, just think, like, if just like think of like an army, okay? Think of like an army, and what if that army had like 10 leaders, but the leaders weren't communicating and they were just telling all these different things, and the army is just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Or the better yet, the leaders are trying to tell each other what to do, and they're like, oh, I don't have to listen to you. It's like,
Yeah. And one thing that we, because this is God Squad Church, we talk about this all the time. If everybody was a pastor, there would be nobody to lead. There would be no sheep. I think Pablo put it in there as well. Yeah, there would be no sheep to follow you. And everybody would have a different vision.
yeah.
It would be insane.
Hmm.
And so you're trying to cast all this vision, but you have nobody to back you up on the vision except for yourself because, this person has a different vision. And you can get the same vision every once in a while, but you're leading it. So you're not going to help.
Yeah. And then, and
Like,
then
let's be honest here.
Yeah, the other side of it too is that you can have a great leader, but if that leader doesn't have anyone to follow him, then he's not going to be able to get much done. Like, he
Yeah.
may as well just be on his own, and his leadership skills don't really do anything for him. So followers are super, super important to be able to support leaders in what they're doing and their vision, for whatever it is that they're leading.
Yeah. And so one thing I wanted to say this leaders are not a boss. Okay. You can have leaders in jobs. Yes, they're your boss, right? They tell you what to do. But what I mean by that is that a leader is not supposed to be the person that just bosses people around, is not just a person to say, hey, your job is to do this. So go and do it. And essentially like a what's the word for it?
A
There's a
manager.
word. No, I can't think of a word for it, but like essentially like you're just telling people what to do and that is it. That is not what a leader is supposed to do. A leader is supposed to yes, cast vision. Yes, you're supposed to be the person that tells people exactly what to do. They can I can't think of that word either. It starts with an A, but anyways, I'm forgetting all the words
Somebody
today.
get
But
some
here's
words for our poor man boss.
I need all the words. But here's the thing leaders normally serve more than a follower.
Hmm.
They're normally going to serve more than a follower. And so what I mean by that is that a leader is going to yes, they're gonna tell people what they need to go and do, but they're also going to be doing things, maybe even that same thing, helping them themselves. They're gonna as well be serving with the people. That's what a leader is built to do, to serve with the people. You look at Jesus Christ, okay? He came and he was going to be the leader of the entire world, right? And so everybody thought that he was going to be in this kingly spot. He was going to take over politics. He was going to free the Israelites from all of the oppression that they were struggling with. And Jesus came and what did he do? He got on his knees and he started washing the disciples' feet.
Came to serve.
Like he came to serve people. And that's what a leader does. They serve others. They cast vision. They have the ability to help lead towards that vision. I think that's one of the biggest things is a leader needs to have that ability to be able to have a vision, but then also to lead people towards the vision. I think that's one of the biggest things that a leader can do. Now, this is going to be interesting for you guys. I'm going to tell you guys a secret of mine, okay? A secret of mine. And I learned this a long time ago, but this is a secret of mine. I'm going to tell you guys what I look for in a leader before the person is in a leadership role. Normally, you're going to start seeing things and see leadership abilities. I don't care about any of that. At first, I don't care if you have leadership abilities or not, because you can have leadership ability, but you might not have that servant attitude that you're supposed to have. The first thing I look for in people is who picks up the broom first. I want to see, I will walk into a room and I will purposely make it messy. I will purposely make it messy to see who goes and gets the broom first. Who is going to go into the bathroom and clean the bathroom without me asking? Let me tell you, okay? You walk into a room and you see a messy room, pick up a broom, right? You don't want people to come to that room, whatever it's for. If it's for church, an office meeting, whatever it is, if people walk into that room, they're going to see that it looks like a mess, right? And then it's going to fall on the leadership, right? Oh, the room is a mess. But who's the person that's going to be the leader? They're going to be the person that picks up the vacuum and starts vacuuming. Oh, preach.
Good
Guys.
stuff. Good stuff.
So
Yeah.
that's what I look for in a leader, though, is I've asked people before, who wants to be the person to take care of the bathrooms, right? And I'm trying, and nobody raises their hand. I'm like, come on, somebody's got to clean the bathrooms here. So that's what I look for in a leader. I think that's one of the biggest things that, in my opinion, and that's before they become a leader, but it shows me their heart, where it's at, and how they want to serve the community and serve the people. And so that's what I look for in a leader. And I like what Mordecai said, boss tells you how it is done, and a leader shows you how it is done.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true as well.
Mhm.
I love that. That's really good.
I think a lot of it comes down to a leader needs to be willing to invest in people, right? And like they know the whys of things. So like in Boz's example of like cleaning up or picking up the broom, whatever, like somebody is going to do that because they understand why that's important. And it doesn't matter if there's no one else to do it because they're going to do it. Part of it is the initiative as well, the initiative that they have to go and do that without being asked. And I think that's definitely something you need as a leader because you don't always have somebody telling you what to do. You have to be able to take that first step and take that initiative. Leaders are about investing in people, investing in people, and not just so that they can get the tasks done, but so that you can invest in them as a person, so that they will then be able to grow and just become a better person in general, not even for you and the tasks that you've given them. If you're a leader that is not willing to invest in people outside of like what they're doing for you, you're not a good leader. Like you should be investing in them as a person and not just so that they can do the job that you've given them.
Yeah, and I think where a lot of that comes in as well is a lot of people think leaders are supposed to be the big person under the spotlight, right? They're supposed to be that person that's always on stage, or they want the fame, they want the title of something. But what it comes down to, it's not about the title. It's not about having your face plastered all
It's
over the
not always the case
billboards.
for a leader either.
No, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people think that leaders only get good things, and that is just not the case. Leaders get more junk than anybody else. They get more junk than followers do. I'll be completely
They get
honest
the
with you.
blame.
They get the blame for everything. And so when I say I'm looking for somebody to pick up the broom, I need to look for somebody that's able to handle the dirty work as well. Like, not dirty work as in bad work, but what I'm saying is like, get your hands dirty, right? Doing the things that need to get done and having the heart to be able to do that. Because a lot of times people think that the leader is just the person that comes and shows up, gets their name plastered on a billboard.
Hmm.
That's just not the case. The leader is the one that's, they're going to be working very hard to make sure that the vision that they cast is going to get fulfilled. And if it doesn't, or if something goes wrong, the blame's not going to fall on the followers. It's going to fall on the leadership. And so I, like we said, there's leaders are not better than followers. Followers are not better than leaders. I'll say in some areas, yeah, maybe a leader might be harder than a follower, but in other areas, I would say that followers might have a harder job as well. Than the leader. I think they're dual roles that balance well together when you have good followers and good leaders as well.
Yeah.
So
Um, I wanted to share a little bit from my own experience to kind of explain how there are both leaders that try to be followers and followers that try to be leaders. So I think followers that try to be leaders is probably the more general one that you would expect, people wanting to lead and trying to lead even though they're not really cut out for it, maybe. But it can happen the other way too. Leaders that try to be followers. And to be honest, I think that was me for a little while. Um, Growing up in like middle school, I had like a bunch of my teachers tell me like, you're a good leader. Like you like we can see that in you. And I was just kind of like, okay. I mean, I don't really know what that means. I'm like 10 years old. Well, that wasn't 10. I was like 13 or
10.
whatever. But it's like 13. I was like, all right, that sounds cool. Um, and then like I got to high school and this was a bigger thing altogether because I went from a private Christian school to a public high school and it just like opened my eyes to the world. But basically I wasn't doing either. Like I wasn't following, but I wasn't leading either. Like I
Mm,
was just like I'm keeping to myself. Like I'm not going to tell anyone anything. Like that's where I became an introvert, let's be honest. But I for a long time was not really leading anyone at all, or even trying to, because I didn't think that that was me. Um, and it was more that I just didn't think it was me, but I was like afraid of like trying to lead people and like trying to like just make a difference even. So it wasn't until really my time with God Squad Church where I came onto staff that I really started discovering the fact that I did have some leadership abilities, and kind of stepping into that role. But for a long time, I kind of ignored that skill set. So I would challenge some of you guys out there today. Maybe you don't feel like you're a leader right now, but that doesn't mean you can't be. It doesn't mean you'll always not be a leader.
yeah.
You could be a leader right now, and you could be in like a really low like retail position or something at a job, and like you're like, well, I have no opportunity to lead. There's always an opportunity to lead. It's going to look a little different depending on your circumstance, but there's always an opportunity to lead. So I would challenge some of you who maybe don't feel like you are cut out to be a leader, or maybe feel like you're not in a position to be a leader. Um, if you have that skill set, if you are a leader at heart, you can step into that role no matter what situation that you find yourself in. So some of you out there need to hear that today. I know I did at one point. So I just wanted to share that, the fact that some leaders try to be followers and some followers try to be leaders, and it doesn't really work out either way.
Yeah, and I'll bounce off that challenge. I'll challenge those of you that maybe you want to be a leader, but you're trying to force it. Like it, you don't even like. Listen, there are so many there. Any leader can grow in their leadership, right? But you can't necessarily make a leader. Yes, leadership positions can grow. People in leadership can grow in learning and new abilities and things like that. But as far as if you are somebody that it doesn't work in that way, there has to be those good followers as well. Like I said before, one is not better than the other.
Yeah.
And when I told you guys before, one thing, there's a lot of new people in here, so I'll restate it one more time. The one thing I look for in a leader is before they become a leader or anything like that, I look for the first person to pick up the broom, because that's going to be the person that I know where their heart is at, and I know that they are the one that wants to serve, and they want to make the presence of the place look clean. I'm looking for the person that's cleaning the bathrooms and things like that. So I would challenge you guys as well. As Seraph said, if you don't think you're a leader, but maybe somebody's told you in your life that you are a leader, that might be a position for you. But on the reverse side of it, are you trying to force something that you're not? That's a really difficult position to be in if you're trying to
Mhm.
force yourself to be a leader when maybe it's just not what your role is. And like I said, one is not better than the other. You need to have a balance of two. And when you're balancing those two, man, you can make the vision that you guys can make happen when you have the followers and the leaders working together. Oh my goodness, you guys.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I want to bounce off what Drew Zown said in the chat. He said, retail is a great example. I choose not to lead because I don't get paid to lead. I'm not going to make any assumptions about how you feel about that. If you feel good in that, that's good for you. I don't know whether you're a leader or a follower, but I do want to kind of use that as a jumping off point to kind of say, on that note of, well, I'm not getting paid to lead. If you have to be paid to lead, you're not ready to be a leader. You're not ready to be a leader. Like if you're like, well, I'm not getting paid to lead. I'm not a manager, so I'm not going to lead. You're not ready to lead if that's you. And that's fine if that's you. That's fine. But that probably means you're a follower and not a leader.
Yeah. And just because somebody moved up in a company to a boss position, that doesn't necessarily make them a good leader. I have been in companies before where my boss was not a good leader. And the company started going downhill and that person would eventually get fired because they weren't a good leader. It doesn't mean that they didn't make a good impression. It doesn't mean that they didn't have a good interview. It just meant that they were in the wrong position. So, as far as being paid, though, my whole thing in any job that I've been in is nothing. I think I forgot. I've been told by this by multiple bosses. This isn't just one that I'm thinking of right now, but there's like 2 or 3 bosses that I've had. Nothing is not my job.
Yeah.
And so
I wanted to say
essentially,
that too, but I forgot about it. So
yeah,
thank you for saying it.
yes, nothing is not my job, right? So if I'm being paid like that, that's for whatever your pay is, it doesn't matter what it is, if you're salary, hourly, whatever it is, if you're being paid, that's a good place to be in, to be able to have that job. But I've always been told throughout my entire life, nothing is not my job. So if I'm asked to do something, I'm going to try and go above and beyond what that person asked me to do because I know that's the right thing for me to do. This is my job. I'm being paid to do it. Other people will see that. They will respect it. In most scenarios, I've had it happen a lot in my life, but there's a lot of scenarios where it doesn't happen either. And some people don't see it. And that is unfortunate. But at the same time, I leadership has a lot of sacrifice in it as well. Like Seraph was saying, if you need to be paid to be a leader, maybe it's just not the right time for you to be a leader, or maybe you might be a follower as well. And that's okay. Like this is not leaders versus followers. Leaders are better. Followers are better. That's not what this is about. This is the fact that you need both in the world. Like
Yeah.
we said before, if you had a church that had a bunch of pastors, it would be awful. It would be awful with nobody to follow you, no sheep to feed, no people to preach to. You just have a bunch of pastors trying to preach their own sermon, and it wouldn't work. It would not work that way. So you need both.
Yeah, for sure. Just to reiterate, I think we've kind of already said it, what you were saying with, a leader isn't a boss, but Silhouette mentioned in the chat, there's a difference between management and leadership.
Yeah,
Just want to reiterate that that's
that's true.
completely true. So I know some people in the chat were saying, oh, well, if the boss isn't great or whatever, like Ray was saying, like they can be in a management position, but that doesn't make them a leader. That doesn't mean
Yeah,
they're cut out for that position, and they might stay in that position for a while, for whatever reason. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a leader. There's a big difference between management and leadership, and they don't always go hand in hand.
yeah, yeah. And then I'm gonna throw this last comment in there. Sorry, all of you podcast listeners out there, but Mordecus said, "Whatever." And this is a verse from Colossians chapter 3, verse 23, and I think this is actually our main verse for most of our volunteers that are in our church.
I believe it is.
Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. That verse got me through so so much junk in my life when I was dealing with leaders that should not have been leaders. Let me tell you, I was trying to please them, and then one day I read that verse and I said, "I'm not pleasing you anymore. I'm pleasing the Lord." Like that helped me to oh, gosh, my work ethic got so much better. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna lie. That made me so much happier because I knew that what I was doing, the Lord knew where my heart was, knew that I was giving it 152%. Those were yeah. That helped me through a lot.
Yeah, it's
But
really
anyways,
good.
guys,
Yeah,
so it
we're about out
is
of time
1
here.
o'clock. We're about out of time. One thing that we, did not mention earlier, I don't think we did anyways. We normally would mention this earlier in our stream and in our podcast, is if you guys have any future topics that you guys would like to give to us about gaming related stuff or life related stuff, send them to us in DMs or whisper us on Twitch. Either one is definitely okay. We would love to get those ideas from you because we don't want to just find the news ourselves. We'd like to talk about with you guys. I might not like WoW, but I know that there's a new expansion coming out. I'll do a little bit of research on it and see what all the hype is about because listen, I'm going to be honest. I've been being told for the past 3 expansions that this game is going to be this is the expansion. This is the one. It's going to be great. And then it comes out and everybody's like, in 2 years, there's another expansion. That expand like it has happened for multiple expansions now. I'm waiting. So maybe this is the one. It could be, but I don't know. So
Yeah, but
send us
especially life topics. If you guys have any life topics, kind of like what we did today, talking about leaders versus followers, we would love to address some of those topics that you guys want to hear about. We
Yep.
have some ideas in the future to talk about relationships, routines, and habits, and even getting along with leaders. That might be a good one to do as a
Yep.
follow up to this. But we would
Getting
love to
along with
address some of those
leaders.
for you guys.
That's a good one. Getting along with leaders because it can be hard sometimes. It can be hard. But yeah, definitely let us know about those future topics that you guys want. Do we want to go into our life at all this week? Like
I mean, do you have anything? I'm going on vacation.
Sarah's going on vacation. He's heading out of town for the week.
Peace.
Oh, guys, actually, this is super important. I'll end on this. We have Waymaker Week for God
Yeah.
Squad Church coming up, starting on October 26th. It's going to be October 26th through October 30th. That entire week, it's going to be crazy shenanigans. We're going to be streaming 12 hours a day. I believe we're doing it
Monday through Friday.
for well, yes, we're doing it Monday through Friday, but correct me if I'm wrong. This is going to be on Pastor Susie's channel, right?
Correct.
All right. So if you guys want,
Twitch.tv/Susie Live.
yes, I will put it in here. If you guys want to be live for all the crazy shenanigans, it is a fundraiser that we're doing for our church to help us continue to move our vision forward and everything that we're doing. So if you guys would like to be a part of the crazy shenanigans and you guys want to see us eat a disgusting cupcake, or you want to see something else crazy, we're going to be having a meeting about it today, actually, to kind of figure out exactly everything that's going to work out and happen. So it's fun, guys. It's a lot of fun.
Don't want to
So
miss it.
you guys don't want to miss it. It's gonna, like I said, 12 hours a day, 60 hours for the week. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. So
Well, I got to call out Silhouette here in the chat because she's calling me out. She said, Seraph, is vacation going to visit someone each week? No. I have only taken vacation once to go see that someone. I work from there when I go visit, and I drive on my days off. So there.
that's true.
Sorry.
He does
Just
drive.
had
He
to-
does drive there
had
on
to
his
defend
days
myself.
off. But most of his vacations are going to see someone.
I mean, I didn't really take a actual vacation really until I had a reason to. So
Hey, and now he has a great reason to take a vacation. So,
but
and yes, I will say she is pretty awesome as well.
indeed.
So, but anyways, thank you guys for coming out today. I hope you guys enjoyed our gaming topics and our life topics. Do you have anything else for us, Seraph?
I got nothing. I'm going on vacation.
Well, Seraph, have a wonderful vacation, my friend.
Yep, thank you.
And all you yokers out there, we'll see all of you next time.
That's right. Take care, guys.